Once again, Blackburn Rovers looking to restart their championship season, and of course, this midweek they take on high-flying, automatic promotion-chasing Swansea City. And guess what, folks? I'm really not looking forward to this one. Well, that was then. This is now, folks. And of course, Rovers coming to this on the back of a big, fat win. But Tony Mowbray's going to try and do something he's never done before, and that's beat Swansea City. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This time looking forward to Blackburn Rovers' latest match. It's a difficult one. It's pretty hard. It's probably one of the ones that we don't want to do. It is Swansea City come to Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe and get back today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, wild football related. We got it all here. Under one Ruski. That's right, boys and girls. So, yeah, goodness gracious me. We're coming into this hopefully in good spirits and hopefully looking to kick on from our weekend win over, of course, Mill. We'll talk about that in a minute, of course. Big shout out, of course, to the Patreons. You know who you are. Oh, yes. And if you don't know who I'm on about these boys. That's right. Goodness gracious me. The Patreon boys and girls for the channel. I do appreciate the support I'm getting. We're up to 26 right now. Goodness gracious. Dizzy heights. I do appreciate that. And in fact, we have a new one. Michael Collier. Welcome to the bloody Patreon gang. I do appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much for your support. Believing in the brand. And if anyone else wants to believe in the brand in another way, come over here, patreon.com/Roverseas, and get in amongst it. I do appreciate the support that you guys are throwing my way. But until then, let's take a look at the match in a bit more detail then, shall we? Coming at you this bloody midweek. So here we go, boys and girls. Here we bloody go. It's, of course, Blackburn Rovers taking, of course, Swansea at long last. It's been a game in waiting. We've had this one postponed once before. I think it wasn't even COVID. It might have been weather. I don't even know. But again, I don't know. I think it probably would have been better to play them back then. But of course, we do it today. Well, not today, this week, of course. But anyway, let's talk about it. Of course, this will be the 41st encounter between these two sides. Rovers winning 20 of them, Swansea winning 14, and there's been 6 draws apiece. But what about the game heading into this one? Let's take a look at it then, shall we? Of course, Rovers played actually 34 games, Swansea played 33, so we have a game in hand on them. And it's not this game, of course. What are we looking at? On average, about a goal apiece, both home and away. Rovers still banging in about 14 shots a game, and we looked at our clinical best, which is a good a sight for sore eyes for Rovers. As for Swansea, just 10 shots for them on average as well. We pick up around about 5 corners, but we've been useless. However, that could be about to change. I thought I was impressed with the set piece ability by Rovers last time around. But of course, Swansea are a completely different kettle of fish. Of course, the other stats seem to be going in favour of us as well. 53% aerial duels going in our favour. Success rate as well. 56% possession, of course, compared to their 49. 78% pass success rate as well. But of course, the tail of the tape really shows Swansea are in sort of a different sort of kettle of fish at the moment. They are, of course, flying high, not only in the playoffs, but of course competing for the top 2. As for the home versus away here, of course, Rovers on average scoring about 2 goals a game at Ewood compared to Swansea's away travels with just the 1. Again, the numbers look favourable for us in a lot of the categories here. 13 shots on average for Rovers compared to their 10. They pick up around about 2 yellow cards to them. Hopefully we can take advantage of their ill discipline on the road. Again, around about the same corners as well. They pick up more fouls as well. Again, success rate, aerial duels, possession and pass success rate all in their favour for Rovers. How about the shots then? Or goals, shall we say. Of course, Rovers scoring 48 goals this season. Swansea scoring 43. We've scored 34 through open play, 24 for Swansea. 4 set pieces. 4 goals through set pieces, which is a weakness. Used to be one of our strong suits, but right now it's definitely an area that needs to be improved upon next season. 12 set pieces. That goes to show if you can take away from those 43 goals, it's a lot less. It's like a third of their goals, give or take, is coming from set pieces. 4 penalties as well, if you want to put that in there as well. It's definitely something that they strive towards. If we can eliminate the sloppy fouls and give them, eliminate the corners, then our chance to win this game goes up. Shots per game, 13.7 compared to their 10.2. Conversion rate of just 10% there. As for the goals conceded then, of course, Rovers conceded 39 goals, which is quite a hefty fee. 27 through open play, 8 set pieces, 1 counter-attack, 2 penalties, and 1 own goal. As for Swansea, just 24 conceded, which is pretty airtight at the moment, of course. What's the goals? How many games have we played? So they're keeping a pretty tight ship at the moment. Our Swansea, just 16 goals through open open play, 5 set pieces, 2 counter-attacks, 1 penalty. So we need to be at our cutthroat best when going forward on this game. Of course, take a look at some of the stats and figures then coming at you, of course. Rovers, their possession is split, of course, 3 ways. 28% in the opposition third, 30% in the, of course, defensive third, 41% in the middle third. As for Swansea, again, this is what we want to be. 30% in the opposition third, 27% in our own third, and 42% in the middle third. As for, where are we there? Of course, let's go to the next box on the right-hand side here. Shots, our shots, the majority of the time, 59% of all of our shots coming in the 18-yard box, 37 long-range bad boys, 4% within the Scrappy Dappy Doo area. As for Swansea, 10% of their goals are in the Scrappy Dappy Doo area, 55% in the 18-yard box, and 35% long-range bad boys. As for whereabouts, the shots coming through, 63% coming down the middle. For Rovers, 20% down the left and 16% down the right. Of course, on the flip side, for Swansea, 69% of all their shots coming down the middle, 14% down the right and 17% down the right. As for the possession, once again, Rovers coming in, of course, 24% of the time coming down the middle and 38% down either side. As for Swansea, they prefer the right-hand side compared to everything else, 37% on the left and 20% down the middle. How about, of course, the situation in the table as it stands? They are sitting third, Rovers are 15th. Of course, these are the numbers that matter. We picked up just 43 points this season. They picked up 65. That's what we wanted. If we were to get that tally, we'd be in a better shape than we were last season. Their points on the road, though, 27 points compared to our 23 points at home. But we'll take a look at all that and the form and all that kind of stuff in just a second. Of course, the goal scorers at the moment leading the charge. Adam Armstrong did not play on Saturday. He had a bit of a hamstring. He may feature in this game. It might be a bit of a what should we do sort of scenario. Of course, Tony. Of course, the boys played very well without him, and maybe we're going to have to focus about that sort of style of play if we are to sell him on next season. Adam Armstrong got himself Sam Gallagher got himself another goal to move up to level with, of course, Brereton and Elliott. Brereton unfortunately didn't get a goal. Of course, Elliott was in amongst the old creativity, but no goals for him as well. Johnson got himself 6 yards so far. Lennon 6, Douglas has got 5, and so has Rothwell. Lennon, the only guy with the red. As for, of course, Swansea, the goals coming from RU, 13 for them for this season. Lowe's got himself 9. Hourihane got 4. He's only been here for a couple of bloody like 2 minutes. He's already got himself 4 goals. Grimes got 4 as well. Fullerton's got 6 yards. Gooey's got 6. Bennett has 5, as has Robertson. Of course, Carl Norton, the one only guy with a red card to his name. These are my expected starting lineups, of course. Yes, I know. He's got a massive head, yes, but he doesn't really in real life. It's just the way it's worked out. But it's going to be... why change a winning team, I think, for Rovers? I think if everyone's fit and ready to go again. Same 11 that started against Millwall. Kaminsky between Sticks, Douglas, Lennon, Howard Bellis, and Ranky Costello. Of course, and that means no place for Nyambe, no place for Armstrong. Even if they're fit and raring to go, I would say maybe save them for Brentford, perhaps. I don't know. It's a difficult one, because that's what I would go. Buckley, of course, did good. Dak also got a goal as well. Tribal as well in midfield. Gallagher, Brereton, and of course Tyrese, the man of mayhem, the whirlwind, the tornado, Tony's tornado. That's of course Tyrese. TTT. Look at that. As for Swansea, they're going to go with a 3 at the back, of course. Woodman between 6. Gooey, Cabango, and Norton make up your back 3. Manning could have been wearing a Rovers jersey this season. Of course, he was rumoured to be a potential left back before we brought in Douglas. Grimes, of course, ex-Rovers as well. Fulton and Roberts. And of course, Conor Hourihane, don't give him no set pieces at all. He's absolutely deadly. Oh, I don't want to see one of those on Tuesday. Ion, of course, leading the charge alongside Jamal Lowe. Again, could have been wearing a Rovers jersey, but made the switch from Wigan to Swansea, of course. The game will take place, of course, here in the Garden of Bloody Eden. That's right. Ewood Bloody Park. That's right. How about that? And hopefully Rovers with Mowbray doing something he's never done before, and that's beat bloody Swansea. He's managed against them in all of his career 8 times. He's never won once. He's drawn 3 times and lost 5 times, picking up a 0.38 point per match. His record against Cooper is not great either. He's managed against them 3 times, drawing 2 of them and losing once, picking up a 0.67 points per game against Coops, of course, from Swansea. Of course, the tail of the tape in the last 8 matches between two sides going back to 2011. We've only picked up 2 wins. They picked up 3, and there's been 3 draws. We've got a form percentage of around about 25% at the moment. They have a 67% win rate as well at the moment as well. As, of course, the highest win over Swansea was a 3-1 win. For us, 3-0 for them. We've also scored 13 goals against Swansea. They've scored 16, and they pick up around about an average of 2 goals a game against Rovers compared to our 1.63 against them as well. Of course, there's the recent encounters between two sides, of course, both home and away. We did play them earlier in the campaign in Wales. Of course, a 2-0 win for Swansea. Ben Cabango and Scotia Andre Ayew as well. Last time we played at Ewood, there was a 2-2 draw. I probably would take that as well. Sam Gallagher on Scotia, Ryan Bruce and Andre Ayew again. He likes scoring against us. He scored in the last 3, but we managed to get a Bradley Johnson Thunderbastard right at the end to save us some grace. We also picked up a point a couple of seasons back at Wales as well. So yeah, pretty hot and cold against them. Only one win in the past 6 for Rovers, and that one win was all the way back in 2015 in the FA Cup. I think they were a Premier League side at that time as well. Of course, the last 4 at Ewood, though, we're unbeaten against Swansea, which is good. Back-to-back draws, though. 2-2s in all amongst that. Look at Yakubu's four-piece against Swansea back in, of course, 2011. I love a bit of that with a big bad boy Brereton 4-piece. I love it. So unbeaten the last 4. So we gotta ride that stat and hopefully ride that into Tuesday and beyond. And then, of course, make it 5 unbeaten, of course, against these bad boys. Of course, this is the journey right here, and it's not pretty reading. But we steadied the ship, lads. We've steadied the bloody ship, of course. Despite a recent blip, we managed to pick up 3 points and maybe, hopefully, start to push on a little bit and end the campaign. If we can end a campaign in around about 10th, you know what? It'll turn out to be a good season. We'll hopefully forget about this mess right here. And you know what? As for Swansea, look at them, though. Tremendous. Been in amongst the playoffs pretty much the whole season. Steady the course, looking at 3rd at the moment, but again, within touching distance of the top 2. I think it's a 4-horse race for the top 2 at the moment, even though Norwich look like the country mile at the moment. The other 3 teams pushing for that runners-up spot could be massive at the end of this, of course. And you know what? If you're one of those 2 teams that don't make the top 2, you know what? You could be in it could be a nightmare if you take them like Cardiff or Barnsley, who are red hot form at the moment. But anyway, that's just what I think about it. Of course, this is the fixtures heading into this, or the results. Rovers coming in the back of this over 2-0 win with a clean sheet to boot. Prior to that, we don't want to talk about it. Actually, just 1 defeat in the past 3, if you want to look at it that way. It's pretty good. As for Swansea, that's not great for them, not phenomenal. They do come into this back-to-back 2-1 wins, but only winning by the 1 goal. And there's been a couple of late goals for them. They have got the never say die attitude, so we're going to watch that. Prior to that, they did lose to Bristol City with a new manager, about 3-1. They also got spanked by Huddersfield on the road. We'd like a bit of that as well. So just 3 wins in the past 5 for a team chasing the top 2. That's pretty ropey kind of form. And I would have loved if we could have come against them on the back of a draw. But the lastminute.com thing, maybe the cracks are starting to show us Swansea, and they might have a bad day Tuesday. Of course, the home versus away form here. Rovers home form, just 1 win in the past 6 games at Ewood. That was against Luton. Again, guess what? It was a shit performance as well. But we need to change that. As for Swansea, it's good on the road. Look, 5 wins at the past 6, or 4 wins at the past 5 as well. So we need like the Huddersfield thing to resurface. The form table looking a little bit better for us at long last, picking up a win, first win. Of course, at the moment, if the season was to end right now on relegation form, we would be just surviving. Wycombe, Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday going down. As for Swansea, they are sitting up in 6th. Not brilliant, but of course a couple of blips in their resume to give me some hope for us, and hopefully that we are going to start a reboot ourselves. So the last 3 is pretty good. As for the home form for Rovers, it's not good. Yeah, 1 win in 6. Terrible. Swansea, pretty good as well. Playoff talking, home form as well, but I guess that doesn't know what will matter. We're on about their away form, and the away form is a little bit better than the home form actually. So 4 wins in the past 5. As for Rovers away form, it's pretty good actually, not bad. 13th spot at the moment. Goals scored helping us as well. At the end of this one, Rovers will have, of course, a very busy week, taking of course Brentford and then Bristol City in the Battle of the Bees. But 3 home games on the spin for Rovers, including this one. Of course, then it's Norwich, difficult one, then Wycombe, and then of course Bournemouth as well. So realistically, if we could get something out of Swansea, I believe that we could probably push on and maybe stretch a little bit of a run up until Norwich, who will probably kick our asses, and then Wycombe as well. I did do a video. If I'm gonna have a little look at it right now, and I'll bring it on the screen here. Of course, if you haven't seen it, it was my Mowbray in video. Is when I went all in for the Mr. Mowbray. Let me just fire up, and I kind of went over the next few games to see where the points will be scored. Fundamentally, I did say that we needed to beat Millwall, so we did that, but I can't remember what we said about the Swansea game. So here it is. Here is that video that I've talked about. So I anticipate a defeat, in all honesty. Stop the video. Stop the bloody video. I do anticipate a defeat against Swansea, but if we get something, guess what? Then we're already up on my points per game tally. We picked this one off, which is great. You know, if we could pick something off with Swansea, you know, then we're gonna be making headway on this. Because I do anticipate a difficult one against Swansea, a difficult one against Brentford. I do think we can get something out of Bristol City. The Norwich game, I think, is a write-off. The Bournemouth game looks a bit of a write-off. The Cardiff one right now looks a bit of a write-off. But realistically, if we could get something out of Swansea, a point, we'll kick on, maybe even extend that unbeaten run, or the positive run against Brentford. and then maybe another point, or then we can start making some traction here, and of course end up even more points, because I think this right here, if we get 24 points, it pushes us on 64 points for the season, which would be better than last season, which of course makes progress and keeps everybody happy. And I'll be happy, because I like the idea of what he's thinking. They're planning the European scouting market. I like all that. Of course, the possession-based football, I like that. The stats do show positive readings, and we'll have a look at the stats in a minute. But of course, all it does work out well. It was just very, very daunting, that bad run, and hopefully now we can kick on forward and get more points on the board. Of course, Swansea, though, they take on Luton after this on Saturday. Tricky game to go is Luton at Kenilworth Road. Then they got a Bournemouth as well away, and then they got Swansea, and of course Cardiff in the All Welsh affair on the 20th of March. Then it's Birmingham, difficult one there, 6 pointer right there. Of course, Preston, you just don't know which Preston will show up as well on that one. So difficult running as well. This is the Easter period, of course, games coming thick and fast. Anywho, that's what I have to say about the game. What about DigiCast? Well, Digi's been a bit shit recently, got them all wrong, but in fact she's actually been pretty good getting the results against Rovers. She hasn't picked Rovers in a while, that's what I'm trying to say. Well, hopefully you can start right now. Show me what you got, Digi. Well, of course, I would go and show you the brfcs.com forum, but again, they're not caught up with the races. They're still talking about the Millwall game. But anyway, let's have a look at the stats. Of course, this is what I'm talking about. Mowbray saying we're playing the right kind of football. We got the possession, we have the shots. Pass accuracy is pretty good as well. Area duels is all up there. All the stats show a pretty picture. We just need that pretty picture to be resembled in, of course, the league structure. Of course, if we were sitting 7th or 8th with about 3 or 4 points off the playoffs, then guess what? I think the mood will be much more positive. But right here, right now, we're down in the doldrums, and it's not looking like a positive season. But a win against Swansea could change the whole vibe of things, and maybe we can start to think, you know what, maybe we could take something out of Brentford. And if we do beat Brentford, you know what, then who knows what can go on. Of course, there is games to be won here. There is, of course, you could just think of them as 13 FA Cup finals, as he says, and of course just keep on trucking on and see how many points you get at the end of it. For me, I just want us to see break 63 points, and of course move the chains. Of course, I've got Norwich lead the charge here. Possession based football for them. Where's Swansea? Anywhere in here? I don't see anything for Swansea. They are, of course, got the best ratings, but that's just opinion based. Yeah, nothing surprising there for Swansea. As for Rovers, though, sitting in for the 4th best possession based team, also the 4th best aerial duels success rate, and of course we are the 2nd best shots per game stat. But again, it means nothing at the end of it. Let's take a look at what else is going on this midweek. It's just the 3 games. QPR taking, of course, Wickham. And Barnsley hope to keep up their amazing run against Derby to put 3 points on the board. And if this is what the table looks like at the moment, of course, a win for Barnsley in 6th could push them up to 5th. Win for Swansea, though, they could push them up to 2nd. And a win for Rovers in 15th. We could go as high as 11th. And guess what? If we win that one on Friday, we could go up as high as the top 10. And then you never know what goes on after that. But anyway, that's that. Of course, the weekend is full fixture list, including Swansea as well. They take on Luton at the end of this one as well. On the weekend, of course, we take on Brentford on Friday night in front of the cameras. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the old thumbs up. And if you didn't, just smash the thumbs up anyway. And of course, make sure you bang your subscribe and get your bang up today with all things Blackburn Rovers latest, Championship related, World Football related. We're going to all here under one roof. So hit the little bell so you don't miss a beat when we go live for the watch-alongs, which we will do that for this week. Of course, early kick-off. Is it 6 o'clock in the UK? I don't even know. But anyway, make sure you bang your thumbs up, bang your subscribe, and you'll come back for the watch. Make sure you come back for the watch-along. We'll do this. We'll enjoy it together. Whether you're a Swansea fan, a Rovers fan, we've got to be together. Be united, of course. And again, if you want to support channel in another way, you could become the latest member of the Patreon gang. And I want to let you know the current bookies rate of this one. If you're interested, if you're a gambling man, actually Rovers aren't too far off. I think they're actually the favourites for this one. 64 for the victory, 9-5 is your Swansea, 9-4 is the draw. Just in case you're a betting man and you want to know. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up, smash subscribe. I'll see you all next time for some Rovers action. Come on Tuesday, watch along. I'm there. Hopefully you are too. Until then.